After 2 years, The Mandalorian is back. So let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Sean, and I love to talk about movies and TV way too much. With that in mind, go ahead and join me down below in the comments section. What did you think about the return of the Mandalorian and Grogu? Feel free to spoil away down below in the comments section. I don't know who would be looking for a spoiler-free review of this TV show at this point in time, so go ahead and spoil down below. No need for spoiler warnings. Also, over on my second channel, Sean Chandler Plus, I've done several different little editorials on The Mandalorian over the last few weeks. You can check those out right up here and check out that second channel that I have. With that said, let's go ahead and dive right into it. What did I think about episode 1 of season 3 of The Mandalorian? I felt this was a good but soft return for The Mandalorian. There's not anything here that I disliked. It didn't make any huge mistakes. It didn't feel like filler. It very much set up multiple plot lines to give us an idea where this season is headed. We got like 3 different action sequences in the episode that are varied. They're different from one another. You get cute Grogu moments. You get multiple returning characters. So in that regard, it's a solid episode, but it also doesn't do anything to wow you. Like if this was episode 4 of the season, you'd be like, yeah, it's a solid episode letting us know where things are headed and seeing some familiar faces. It was fun. However, since it's been 2 years since the season 2 finale, you kind of are expecting, you have that anticipation of something a little bit bigger and fancier. Likewise, the season 1 premiere ended with that incredible cliffhanger introducing us to Baby Yoda, who's not in any of the marketing. So it was like, oh, where's this going? What's this all about? And so it just ended on this note. We were just like hooked instantly. And season 2 kind of had a very different type of opener that made a big splash in that I just think that's one of the better just standalone episodes with Cobb Vanth, and we're trying to solve this problem for this village. He's a great character to spend time with that's pulled from the novels. You get to see the Boba Fett armor. There's the tease of Boba Fett at the end. It's just a great standalone episode. And this one, to use the word I used before, is very much a setup episode. It's not about telling really a self-contained story, and it's not about wowing you. It's about laying the foundation for where things are going, which is the premiere for first episode that's trying to do a bunch of different things with a bunch of different plot lines. You have to do that. I get why they did it. But when you have that 2-year wait, you kind of wish and hope that it's going to have a little bit more to it that makes you like, wow, that was awesome. That was really cool. Oh, that's what they're doing? Something. And this show has done that in multiple different ways, as I've already talked about. And this kind of lacked that wow factor. But like I said, it's a good episode. It's a solid episode. When you're returning after 2 years, you want something a little bit better than a good episode, solid episode. And I think that's where I had a little bit of disappointment with it. Because if I think about the parts to it, I'm cool with it. Kicks off with a nice cold open with you're seeing the Mandalorian cult initiating a new member into their group where this creature pops up. So you get a big creature action sequence. You get Mando showing up to save the day. And so it was cool. It was big size, looked great with everything that kind of took place there. It's always fun when you have a gigantic tribe of Mandalorians. And then it sets up the arc for the whole season. And we kind of already knew where this was headed from Book of Boba Fett, but Mando has taken his helmet off. He's no longer a Mandalorian. And you have a person that only really cares about 2 things. Grogu, which was the reason that he violated the code of the other thing that he cares about, being a Mandalorian. And forever he was only cared about being a Mandalorian, and then he discovered something that he's willing to violate this code that defines his life for Grogu. There's something very profound about that. But now it's all, how do I regain the honor and the right to be a Mandalorian. So it sets us on that quest that ties into things that are part of the grander Star Wars lore in regards to Mandalore, Bo-Katan, all that fun stuff. So you see kind of this big story emerging in the opening sequence to the episode. So that was kind of nice, kind of fun to kind of establish all of that right out of the gate, get a big action sequence and an idea where things are headed that makes it feel like, okay, gotcha. All right, cool. So then we get the return of Grief Kargan, who is now building out this gigantic city. And one of the things this show's really bad at is letting us know the passage of time. So Jon Favreau, in some quotes about the show, kind of gave a concept of the passage of time here and said basically seasons 1 and 2 cover a couple of years. And then he said that Grogu trained with Luke for a couple of years. And so since the premiere of the show in the series for the characters, 4 or 5 years have passed. So they are significantly older. Time has passed to explain, like, how's this whole community being built out on Navarro is because time has actually passed there. And so as Mando shows up there, they have these conversations and they have to explain why Cara Dune has disappeared, is no longer the sheriff. I'm glad they did it the way that they did. If they had tried to humiliate the character, like, oh, she got killed off, wow, what a shockingly bad move that would be. You already have enough controversy over her being fired over tweets. A lot of people not very happy about that. A lot of people very happy about it. The internet, kind of a crazy place right now. But already very split opinions on her being fired over tweets. When Pedro Pascal also has put out a lot of very political tweets. And so obviously in the world that we live in, people pick sides on everything like that, take issues with it. And she was on the opposite side of the writers. Let her go. And if they'd chosen a method to where they humiliate the character, you're just poking a wound. You're just poking the bee like bees. You're just instigating them one more time. That would be dumb. And it doesn't honor a character that a lot of us liked. A lot of us thought was a lot of fun. And they didn't do that. They said, after everything that went down, she got recruited for Special Forces. You guys, the audience, thought she was awesome. So did the New Republic. So she's got a new job. Of the thing, if you're not going to bring her back, that's probably your best option. Because if you recast her, you are going to get that whole wing of the internet coming after you. And if you kill her off, you're really going to get them coming after you. And you just alienate people more so than they're already alienated by kind of what went down. Probably the best path to send the character off screen in a way that honors the character. But that means the town doesn't have a sheriff, so he's trying to recruit Mando. Mando's like, that's not really my thing. Actually, I'm here because I want to, trying to regain my honor. I'm trying to get some people to help me along the way. So as you're walking into town, you see a gigantic statue of IG-11. He goes, I want that back. And you learn throughout the process that that statue is made up of IG-11. Obviously, we saw him blow up a season ago. And I know there's a little bit to this. I was like, wait, if you could just repair him after he blew up, wouldn't you have done that to take him with you on your quest to try and find the Jedi? Wouldn't you have done that before, rather than wait years and then for this new quest that's really important, try and bring it back? Like, that one didn't quite add up to me, but you can always find little lapses in logic. So try and put them back together. Memory cards messed up, and so they get a nice little Terminator sequence in here where turns on and it's just the arms, this robot crawling after them and the shooting, they can't take it out. Great little Grogu laugh moment in here where Mando throws Grogu Like, it's just like this little thing of like, he's got his arms, like he has to do something, it just goes like this. And it's just really funny in a way that makes sense. Like it is kind of a silly joke to like throw a baby-like character. But at the same time, what else are you going to do in this moment? So it kind of made sense. And it, right as that happened, my son had turned around to start eating. And all of us like, Liam, what are you doing? You got to watch the show. We don't want to say what he did. We got to show you. He's like, what? What did I miss? It's just a fun little moment. And they had several of those, like, he uses the Force to grab some candy and stuff. Like, nice little Grogu moments in there that kind of fit. But you get like this Terminator action sequence. They smash the skull with a rock, and so I have to find someone else to try and fix him. And they go to, I don't know if that was it Babu Frick? I don't know. I watching it like 6 a.m, so my brain was not fully there quite yet. And I know that he's in the trailer, but didn't catch if they actually said his name in the episode to confirm that it was him. But there, once again, nice Grogu moments in here. If you got these cute little creatures trying to fix the droid, and Grogu walks up, gives him a big hug to pick him up.
Not a pet.
No, it's crazy.
Not a pet. Fantastic Grogu moment. But we learned that we have to get this part in order to fix IG-11. So we've got Mando needs to go to these mines to try and regain his honor. He needs to find this memory card so he can get IG-11. And then kind of final piece in here is that has to go meet up with Bo-Katan. Tana, I always say add or subtract N's from her name. Meets up with her to try and see if she got her army. And she has lost her army because she didn't get the Darksaber. He has the Darksaber. She clearly is not very happy about all of this. She clearly is holding a grudge and vindictive about where things are at, bitter. Setting up this rivalry between the two of them that was already kind of there. That we assumed was going to be there, but right out of the gate, they're not on great terms. But also, we need to go reclaim Mandalore. We need to find the mines. We need to find IG-11. Have several plot lines in here set up right out of the gate for where things are headed. And then they also kind of introduce a little piece in there as well with that isn't necessarily probably a plot line, or I don't know exactly what you could call it, but an antagonist in there of the pirates from Navarro, where they get run off by Mando and Grief. And then they start chasing Mando because he gunned down several of their people. Once again, Mando outgunned several of them, but when the big ship shows up, he's got to just jet out of there and kind of create the situation where you have pirates that are after Mando, while Mando's trying to go back to Mandalore, has a rivalry with Bo, and we're trying to get stuff for IG-11. So you set up a lot of things in there. You get funny moments, you get action sequences, but you don't get the wow. And when you're coming back after 2 years, you just kind of wish you had something that was like, oh, wow, I wasn't expecting that. Saying that he's trying to regain his honor, not wow-inducing. Assumed that. There's rivalry with Bo, not wow-inducing. You return to IG-11, I guess in a little sense, is like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. I didn't know that was happening. But it wasn't like, this is incredible. They're going to bring back a droid? Wow. It's like, oh, cool. Yeah, I'd be down for more IG-11. Cool. That's kind of what I felt about it. Enjoyable. I liked it. Solid episode, but distinctly kind of in that mid-tier. Not mid-tier doesn't mean bad. I think since I really love this show, mid-tier means that you got a solid episode of television. Nowhere close to the ones at the bottom where I'm like, oh, that was kind of a misfire. There's not many of those. There's only one or two that I'm like, that was just a total misfire for me. Not in that category at all. But after 2 years, I was just hoping to have something that really sucked me back into the world, caught me off guard, did something brand new that I hadn't seen on this show before, really unexpected. Didn't quite get that. And, you know, the people that were at the premiere saw 2 episodes, and they seem to have a more positive experience. Now, if you go to the grand world premiere of a show in, you know, Hollywood, and this gigantic displays everywhere. That's a pretty cool environment to see something, and they tend to have positive reactions to things coming out of events like that. But they seem to say that there's stuff in the second episode that has a little bit more of that wow to it. I even heard some people referring to it as like a horror element. So like, that sounds cool. That sounds interesting. Maybe I misread the tweets. Maybe I misunderstood it. I've only seen the first episode that was put on Disney Plus. But as I said before, good, but not wow-inducing. Not top tier episode, not one that really, really like me go, man, they are off to a bang. What an awesome episode. No, it was good. Solid episode. Not great. That's my take. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Remember, I got some of those editorial videos. You can check them out right over there. Thank you so much for watching, and keep talking movies and TV too much. Bye-bye.